If you like what you're hearing, consider supporting us on Patreon. Click on the link in the description or go to patreon.com/backyardtrashtalk. Hello and welcome to Backyard Trash Talk. My name is Jacob Youngtran, and today I am joined by a co-host and a guest. Would you guys like to introduce yourselves?
What's crack-a-lackin', my dude bros? My name is Josh, I run the channel Animations SL, and I'm going to be the co-host for Season 2 of Backyard Trash Talk. And our guest today is...
Oh, sorry, I thought everybody else was the co-host. My bad.
No.
My name is Maaz from TheAMaazing. I run an animation channel on YouTube as well as make content on a variety of other platforms, and I am honored to be on this podcast.
Cool, it's good to have you here, man. Honestly, I gotta say, I'm sounding chill right now, but I'm kind of freaking out because you were like one of my biggest animation inspirations, and it's just super awesome to have you on, man.
No issues at all.
Yeah. I'm kind of curious. This is kind of random, but like, how did you find out? Because your name Maaz works with TheAMaazing so well. Because like
Yes.
TheAMaazing. How did you find that? Like, how did you come up with that?
So I, it actually came across. It came out from a bunch of trial and error because when I started out my channel, the actual name for it was, and this is like the common rookie error that everybody does, and I did it. It was Amaazing Animations. You know, I just add animations at the end, and you're set. You know, and so I was like, all right, well, crap. First of all, no one's gonna search for that because it's like a long name, Amaazing Animations. No way. And similarly, I was just like, when people search for that, they would just come out with amazing animations and they would get shown Pixar and Disney films. And I'm like, God dang it, my channel can't even be searched. And so a friend, well, not a friend, but like an animator that I used to know in the few years ago, he told me like, hey, why not just remove animations and just be like TheAMaazing and just roll with that. And whilst the search engine is still, it just says, hey, do you mean TheAMaazing? Obviously I was just like, nah, it doesn't. And so now it's like I've developed that as a brand enough so that when you search up TheAMaazing, it actually does come up with my channel. So that's how I found it. Again, the reason why I even did Amaazing in general was because, again, my name is Maaz, and a friend of mine made a joke that like, hey, you should have an Instagram account called like TheAMaazing because you're like the amazing Spider-Man, you know? And I was like, that's actually really dope, and I like that, so I did it.
TheAMaazing Spider-Man.
I know, man.
Oh, man.
My name, I kind of forgot how I came up with my name, but like I remember when I made my YouTube channel at first, it was like I was like 11, I think, when I made my YouTube channel. And so the first name that came up to my mind was my Minecraft username, because I used to make Minecraft videos pretty much like every other 11-year-old, I guess. So my Minecraft username was DinoDude11111, and that was my channel name for a long time. I don't know what compelled me to change it. I think it was like I saw TheAMaazing and The Odd Ones Out and Jaden Animations, and then I was just like, you know, no one wants to say DinoDude11111 when they're looking up like an iconic animator. 5 ones is hard to remember, so I changed it to like just something simple, just the Animation Trash Bin, which again isn't even that much simpler. I'm bad with names. I'm bad with coming up with names, I guess. I mean, you can probably tell from the Animation Trash Bin and Backyard Trash Talk, none of which are resounding, memorable names. But I mean, it's whatever. I mean, it was enough enough people like it, I hope.
Yeah.
It's a cool name.
Yeah. I think it's a fine name. Honestly, I actually think the 51111, the 11111 could have really worked. Because it's not a set of numbers that's like odd or anything. Like for example, I'm not sure if you guys are aware of this YouTuber named like Tamago2474 or something.
Oh
like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Right, and like he owns the fact that he's got like a weird set of numbers, but because of that, I can't never remember. I think it is 2474 because I've just met the guy. But if you had like 5 ones, that could have been a meme, you know, on the channel where it's just like, yo, yeah, my name is Dino. Just call me Dino. Don't call me 11111. It's fine. You know what I mean? Like, okay, you really could have rolled with that.
Yo, you're kind of right. I definitely could have used that to my advantage, but I mean, it's whatever. It's too late now. I'm not going back. But when I used to do collabs for like other people, because I wanted to get like my name out there, because I was like a really small struggling, and I still am kind of a small struggling animator, but like when I was really trying hard to get my name out there, it was super annoying because every time I collabed with someone, they would always say me in the end card, "Thank you to the ABT for sponsor for being in this video," and I don't know. I don't know why. I mean, I see why they could mix that up, but I mean, it's just the animation trash bin, not animation bin trash. Wait, isn't there like another animation channel called like Bin of Trash? I think.
I'm
Really?
not sure.
Let me see. Bin of trash. Bin of trash. Yeah, there is. There is.
All right, so maybe that's where the confusion came from. Damn. Something
Bin
that
of trash.
yeah. Something
Yeah, 127,000 subscribers. Wow, dang, they're huge.
that's a little bit more than me, so I can. That's a little bit more subscribers than I have. That's a
Yeah.
um.
Dang.
Damn. Maaz, what was it like when you were a small struggling animator?
Oh man, I think it's like most people go like, oh, you forget. The thing is, I don't forget. I have like memories and trauma. So, back like a few years ago, there used to be this group called the Young Animators Club, and that's where a lot of the younger animators, as you can imagine, used to join. But not even just younger, but also just, I guess, the animators who were rising, right? So I joined in, and at the time I was 19, so much older than most of the people who were there who were 13 or 14, trying to follow. And at that time, trying to follow only Jaden and James. Adam hadn't really built his channel yet. Rebecca Parham wasn't even in the game yet.
Right.
Millimations, etc. So it literally was only the big six considered at the time was Tony V Toons, Alex Clark, Jaden Animations, James, Lightsen, Cypherden. Cypherden was for a different reason, but still, a reason nonetheless.
I remember that era. That was like at the very beginning.
Yeah, very beginning. So at that era, like just because of I talked about this in my own video, but just because of like circumstances and the fact that I had finished my second year of medical school and just wanted to create, I was like, frick, man. And I had all these conditions, like I want to be anonymous, I want to be able to create without people recognizing me. I want to tell stories because I enjoy telling stories. And then bam, there's Domics in my recommended. I'm like, all right, look, who's this? Who's this little boy? And I watched and I was like, it's good, but it's not like my cup of tea. And it wasn't until I watched, like, honestly, like because the thing is, as you can tell, look, my sense of humor, I like adding bits of hyperbole and being very exaggerated in all my videos. That's just my sense of humor. Even when I'm telling a random ass story, I'm just like, and then this happened and that happened, right? That's how I tell my stories. And so when I watched Domics, and he was very calm, very, very quiet, still very interesting. I was interested through the video, but I just realized that his way of telling stories wasn't really my style. I watched James after, because he was my recommended, and it was a big colorful thumbnail, so I was like, whatever. And he was closer to my sense of humor. I did laugh a few of his jokes, and I was like, I like this, but it feels a bit too kiddie. It just feels aimed at a younger audience than what I'm used to. Because again, my philosophy is I tell stories that I would tell my friends. I would tell my stories about how I killed a dog. I would tell my friends about how I stabbed my brother and how I was with a girl and she sang a song and I fell in love. You know what I mean? Like all those stories I would tell my friends, and my friends are obviously college age students. And so obviously I'm not going to tell stories on my channel about like actual adult stuff, but it's just more so stuff that is interesting on a generalizable scale. And so I was like, James is good, but like not exactly my cup of tea. And I think Jaden, when I landed on her channel, she was the one who was closest to what I was aiming for. She told stories that is generalizable, but not specifically kind of kid friendly, you know what I mean?
Right.
Stories about how she was awkward with her family and felt like she was silent most of the years, and she can maintain right eye contact. Those are really fun stories that you can tell anybody. And I watched her story about the hero's journey, about how she's like, I'm in college and I do like and that's when I kind of felt bad. I was like, I'm in college and I'm making excuses about not doing YouTube, and so I'm gonna do that. And so I did that. And when I started the actual like Young Animators Club, that's where I started from. So at the time, I viewed James, Jaden, and Domics to a level of like, oh, they're like big animators, OG animators. But then when I was in Yak, sorry, the Young Animators Club. That's what we called it, Yak. When I was in Yak, everybody was so young that I was like, where the hell are the older people? Because, you know, at the time, James, Jaden, and Speechy and Tim Tom were streaming and stuff. And I was like, what? I want to join that. Like, they're older than the 12-year-olds. I want to join that. And so I ended up like emailing James, and I was like, yo, James, what's up? Like, hey, I'm like 19. I've made like 2 videos on my channel. I don't have much, but where are you guys? Like, these are too young for me, man. And James, like being James at the time, just gave me a full detailed essay of a reply. He's like, hey man, here you go. Here's your thing. Here's what you do. If you want to ask for a collab, don't do it until you have this. And he gave me like a really detailed reply, and I was like, all right, thanks, mate. And I was like, holy crap, this guy with like at the time 2 million subscribers is actually being like the sweetest kind of guy. You know what I mean?
No, yeah, he definitely did. He definitely is, yeah.
Yeah, and 100%. And now we're like best friends, and I still maintain that he's one of the nicest people ever, but I'll never say it in front of him because he's a prick, you know. But but basically at the time, as I was in Yak and in live streaming, there was another group called the Kindergarten that I wasn't aware of, and they invited me into their group. And I was like, oh, okay, what's happening here? And the group consisted of a lot of the rising animators at the time. And I genuinely think this was like the second wave generation. A lot of people say first wave was, you know, Jaden, James, Swoozy, that kind of stuff, Domics. And that makes sense.
Right.
Yeah.
Second wave being like, you know, Adam, Tim, Tom, Rebecca, like all this later on people. And then the third generation were, I wouldn't say like big rises, but it was more so just a small wave of recognizable names. So the Kindergarten consisted of people like myself, Ginger Pale, Cypher Den, Chili Panda, Tabs, just to name a few. And a lot of us knew each other like when we were all under 10K subscribers. The only person when I joined Kinder who was at 10K was Tabs, who was at 12. And then we all blew up, and when one side rises, everybody rises, and we were all just rising. And Laddie and Rushlight Invader and Pants' Pajamas as well, who I met in the Kindergarten, were such close friends of mine that we to this day they're like my best friends, and I still consider them like genuinely fantastic friends of mine. And so when I was rising, like, you know, quote unquote, when I was like, you know, younger animator, I was rising with these guys who were also rising, you know, so it's a right place, right time. And I was also, as you can tell, whilst I like being funny and creative, I'm also very analytical. And so I studied lots and lots and lots of YouTube tutorials and anime tutorials to be more efficient with animation, but also with how to make the best thumbnails, how to make the best descriptions, how to work the YouTube game. And I had worked this entire game and called it Operation Gay, gaming the algorithm of YouTube, right? With Rushline Invader, Laddie, Turtle Amigo, Pants' Pajamas, where we all did like cross collabs with each other, and then we did some really clever manipulation of our videos and potential collabs. Then we all started rising, and all of us got past 10K, and I think I got like 60K actually. I was 12K and then went to 60K in a week after the plan succeeded.
That's
and then,
nuts.
Yeah, like that is like it's crazy. Like skipped me so far and above. But then after that, it just kind of, you know, there's been a consistent grind of just making videos throughout university.
It's
been crazy, man.
What an emotional story. Oh my god, that was inspiring.
It's a lot, man. There's so much history in the community, man. There's so much history.
It definitely...
Crazy.
I mean, I know I definitely took the wrong thing away from that story, but it definitely almost makes me scared to try to make it big in the animation community.
I feel like a lot of people don't try anymore because of the fact that it's saturated, or because there's too many players in the game. It's not nearly as saturated as people think it is, because at the end of the day, we still upload monthly. Like, there's still long periods in which a lot of us animators don't upload. So there's still room. But I think what really scares people is that at the time when I started, James and Jaden and all these animators were single people, and they were making animations by themselves. But now almost all of us have a team, right? I have a team, James has a team, Jaden has a team, Adam has a team, Tim has a team. Everybody has a team. And so the quality looks so good that people watching are never think like, oh, I can do that. because they have a team. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I feel like that's the wrong approach. We have a team now because we've been at it for years. This is my 4th year doing this. You know what I mean? Like, it's been going on for a long time.
I mean, it's...
And so, go for it.
Oh, sorry. It's mainly practice. I mean, honestly, like, when I first started, I mean, I didn't know how to draw backgrounds. I didn't know how to do anything. But over time, it's just, if you keep on going, eventually you'll get better and better. And stuff like that.
The guy that made me want to start in the YouTube animation, quote unquote animation, because again, most of the stuff that I do couldn't be classified as real animation, but it wasn't. I actually discovered James and Jaden and all that after I had already gotten to the animation community, because the guy that inspired me to start quote unquote animating and drawing and posting these drawings onto YouTube was Sir Grade A Under A. I don't know if you've heard of him.
Nice. Yeah. I know him. Good guy.
Dude, he's...
Well, mixed guy, but go on.
Yeah, he was the first ever, and still to this day, one of the only ever YouTubers to make me, like, actually have a gut laugh. And that's... I don't know. I used to strive to be just like him, but then after discovering all these other animators and everything, I've realized that I don't have to follow, like, a single pattern, essentially, to be...
No, you don't.
Yeah. So I guess that's the biggest, like, takeaway from YouTube. But I've made a lot of fair mistakes being on the internet because, like, I don't have a manager or anyone to, like, see and just tell me, hey, don't post that video of, I don't know, you beating up this guy. Don't do that. So I've definitely been.
No, I get you. Yeah.
Yeah. Here's like an interesting thing. Is there any story, Maaz, that's obviously not it's still safe for work, but is there any story that you refuse to animate?
There's a few stories that I refuse to animate. So I don't have that many not safe for work stories, to be honest with you, because I'm a good boy.
He's a good boy.
I don't really do drugs or drink or anything like that. But a lot of the stories that I want to share that I can't, that I do on my live stream and stuff, because is mainly from either it paints one of my friends in a really negative light, and I'm sure they would not appreciate me making videos because they watch my videos.
Oh, right.
There's a story that I have about how I almost got married to my best friend, and that's like one of the best stories that I have, and I love telling it, but I know she would not appreciate that. If I told it in a story, she would very much not appreciate it, and so I don't make that into a story. There's another story about how a lot of the stories is related to medicine, a lot of the medical aspects of my life. There's like a story in which a friend of mine, and it's going to sound disgusting. It really is disgusting. I guess this is not safe for life, but I guess I'll just like preface it. But when we were in anatomy, we had cadavers, which is like preserved bodies that we can practice surgery on, you know?
Okay.
And so, that was just like a medical thing. You kind of had to do your surgical aspect, right? It's like a mandatory thing. And apparently a senior of mine took a piece of that and then fed it to somebody else. And so that story is gruesome. It is a gruesome story. Yeah, it's bad.
That's
so
nasty.
That kind of stuff, I don't even want to animate because I know people will puke. Like that story is real nasty. And so stuff like that, then I'm just like, all right, I can't obviously make this into a story.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. So, but mainly most of the other stuff that I do want to tell, I honestly don't have that much of a filter when it comes to telling stories on YouTube, other than the fact that does it make my friends look bad, or will it actually harm my audience or affect them negatively? That's my two big filters. And third, obviously, will I tell my regular friends? Because even a story as negative as me thinking that, in my Friend Zone series, there's this girl named Cherry, and I looked at her and I was like, yeah, you owe me. You should date me because it's my turn. Even a story with such disgusting behavior like that, you can still turn around and be like, hey, man, I don't think like this. This is how I used to think. This is not good. Like, you should not think like this at all. You can make it palatable for anything. You know what I mean?
Right, yeah.
And I feel like most stories you can turn solid.
I feel like
know. That's just
I'm kind of I'm kind of the opposite kind of person. I'm definitely not proud of this, but I'll take like kind of small little little stories, little like anthills essentially, and turn them into mountains to put in my stories in my YouTube videos. I don't lie about the stories obviously, but I mean there was I'm trying to think. There was one scene in one of my videos where I was referencing how like my leg was hurting after a run, and to draw that to visualize that, I literally drew like an ass on my character and stabbed a knife through it. I mean,
That's really good stuff. Nice.
It definitely got the point across, I hope, but I mean, I feel like I should feel guilty for being like dishonest. I wasn't really dishonest, but I don't know. The pain was definitely bearable. I've never actually sustained any injuries. I've never broken a bone in my entire life. I don't know if it's because I'm strong or I'm just really sheltered, but I don't know.
Well, Jacob, because
no, I get you.
From doing that, it's just a way to really express. Like, I mean, it was exaggerating, but a good way to get like the point across.
I mean, I guess. Wait, Josh, have you ever, in your videos, have you ever told an untruth?
Well, with my videos, I mainly tell stories that my family can, like, laugh at because my family loves to watch my videos. And mainly, like, I don't really animate. Well, since we were discussing videos that we don't like to animate, for me, I can't see myself making a school stories video because people at my school know that I have a channel and I don't want to make an event and it be like get a false reception or stuff. Like, I really don't care what people think of my videos as long as I like them and they're presentable, they're good, but
right.
Mainly school stories just rubs me the wrong way.
Since
What's up, Jacob?
I started off my quote unquote animation channel making school videos, as I think you know, Josh, but my first video was called School, and here's the thing. Since I hadn't yet discovered any of these animation channels like James or whatever, and I thought that my idea of making a school video was original, but as I've learned, it is almost impossible to come up with something original. I'm trying to make a sitcom right now, actually. I'm coming up with I'm trying to make a sitcom, but I every single idea that I just like randomly pitch to my friends or my mom or whatever, they're always saying, yeah, there's already something like that. It's kind of infuriating, but I guess it's kind of a different story when you're talking about real stories, like for most storytime animators, and you're not coming up with skits. But I mean, it's hard being original on the internet. I mean, damn.
Yeah, I get you. It really is hard, and I feel like school stories, it does do well. Of course, it does, because a lot of people who watch animation channels are in school. But I feel like nowadays, with the saturation of them, you've got to make school stories interesting, right? If you tell me another school story about how your teacher is mean to you, I'm gonna blow a gasket. If you make another story about how your teacher is racist to you, you know, or is a teacher did something bad, or actually interesting story, that would be crazy. My next video talks about a teacher that was incredibly racist to me, right? And I feel like that would be interesting to some people, you know?
Yeah, I used to tell stories. I used to tell stories about my sexist sexist math teacher, but there's this one story that happened literally last week, but I already swore that I would never put this in a video just because it's really embarrassing to me. But I feel like since less people listen to this podcast than watch my videos, I'll tell it. But okay, so with online school, obviously, or whatever, you have to stay muted so you're not like disrupting the class. But then you have to unmute when a teacher asks you a question. But the advantage to having a microphone that has a mute button, and there's also the mute button on the Zoom call, is when I unmute, I can unmute on the Zoom call, but I can mute my microphone so it looks like I'm talking, and then they'll be like, so they can see that I'm unmuted and they can see that I'm talking, but they won't actually hear anything, so it'll be quote unquote technical difficulties. And that worked. Okay. That worked flawlessly. Whenever a teacher would ask me a question and I didn't know the answer, and I didn't want to have to say in front of the entire class, I don't know, which would probably actually saying that out loud would probably be the logical thing to do. But either way, I'm a socially awkward nerd, whatever. So I don't have time for that. I don't have time to be socially normal. So what I do is I'll just do that tactic, and then to make it look like I'm talking, I'll just say random stuff like poopy butt fart, balls, ball sack, AIDS, I don't know.
Yeah.
But this one time in PE class, this was like Tuesday or whatever. It's not that important, but okay. In PE class, my PE teacher asked me a question about muscles. We were learning about muscles. He was like, yo, which muscle is dominant? And so I tried to do the whole tactic. I muted the mic, and then I unmuted myself on the Zoom call. But maybe my thumb didn't press the mute button all the way, or maybe I must have clicked it again while I was holding the mic. But I was not muted. And the entire class heard me go poop AIDS butt _7. I don't know.
Oh man.
I didn't see that my mic was unmuted, and I didn't know until I saw the teacher's reaction, and he was just like, what? And then at the worst possible moment, my headphones died right when that happened, so I couldn't even hear their response. I couldn't even hear their response, and so right after I was just like, I did my whole spiel on poop AIDS or whatever. My headphones died, and then it was just me going, wait, hello, I can't hear anyone. Hello, wait, am I muted? Oh my god, I'm unmuted. Hello, technical. And then I just typed in the chat, technical difficulties. I left the call in the middle of class and just never looked back.
Oh man. See, I know I completely missed my cue with this question, but Maaz, as you were saying earlier about how it was saturated or oversaturated, where there were a lot of animators around in the community. Right. What are your views on certain accounts, I don't want to say any names, that would specifically go out to hate on the Storytime animation community?
Oh, I don't care. I don't care at all. I feel like okay, I'm gonna go off here a little bit. So I feel like a lot of the people in my community, I love them to bits. I love the people here, but I came from a culture of like the hospital, right? Who are known to be incredibly harsh, right? Like if you get screwed over if you make a tiny mistake. And so that's real criticism. That's real like people getting mad at you. I don't care if some people make a video and they're just like, oh, you're not animating enough. I don't care. I'm gonna make a video no matter what. I'm not gonna let them affect me. Because the validation that I need is not from others. I need validation from me. Am I happy with my own video? Am I happy with what I'm doing? You know what I mean? So because of that,
hey, that's a really interesting concept. Like that's
a great mentality.
And so so because I need because I have internal validation, I'm not gonna let anybody else tell me, oh, whatever's wrong, whatever's right. I'm still gonna make my video. And I feel like other people listening so intently and making a point to be offended and being like, no, I'm right and you're wrong. Dude, who cares? Make videos, man. Like, I don't know. I feel like it's a waste of time to listen to people who are actively going against you or under the guise of quote unquote, I'm trying to help you, I'm trying to give criticism. It doesn't matter. In the end, you're still going to put your head down and make a video, right? So just do it.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that, because what's beautiful about YouTube is it's like video Twitter, essentially. Like, who cares? Sure, I'll let you speak your mind. Like, you can say whatever you want about me, about the animation community. There was this guy recently that reviewed my channel, and he said a lot of really crappy stuff, but it's whatever, because it's his right to do so. I mean, I don't care what he said. It didn't hurt my feelings, and it didn't affect me in any way. Even if I get a couple dislikes now because of that, I mean, it's not that big of a deal, because I don't know if this is a crappy thing to say, but honestly, I don't make videos to please the fans. If I did that, then I wouldn't have literally been gone from YouTube for over a year. I make these YouTube videos because I love to draw and I love to make people laugh, and I just love making these. I don't know. They're just fun to look back on, I guess. And then when it's just the most rewarding thing when I see people like Infamous Swoosh and Kabloosh and even you, Maaz, commenting on my videos saying, "Hey, this is good." I don't know. It's just I don't do it to please others. It's just like a little benefit, I guess.
I feel like I'm speaking about this kind of stuff from my position of somebody who is, quote unquote established in the community. And I feel like the real danger and what did annoy a lot of people is that they were some people going after the younger animators, as you mentioned.
Yeah.
And I feel like they have every reason to be kind of upset. You know, they do. Okay. Or, you know, so that's why I feel like, me going off there was from my perspective, but I do understand why people would get upset. I'm not going to say like, hey, if you get upset, you're wrong. It's whatever.
Right.
So, you know, it is what it is. It's just people's reactions. Some people don't like the fact that some people think that because of how much time they put into animation, it's like a personal attack, and I understand that point completely. I just don't think like that, and therefore I don't really mind criticism or anger or hate. I can read through hate comments all day, and I'll just be like, okay, you know what I mean? Like, I don't really mind.
Right. Yeah. This is kind of. I was just kind of thinking about what I said earlier about how like hard it is to be original online, and I feel like that's what a lot of the quote unquote hateful people in the community say. Is they're like, you're not being original or whatever, but it's honestly really hard to be original because my little logo thing, as you know, it's like a little sideways teardrop almost. It's like a head with a point at the front, which is totally weird, but it was just super duper simple, and I thought it was original because I'd never seen anyone do it before. And then I got people commenting saying, dude, you just like stole this head from Spy versus Spy. And I was like, what the hell, Spy versus Spy? So I looked at what Spy versus Spy was, and then I got super duper sad, but like,
oh, that's wild. What the heck?
Wait,
I mean,
what the
yeah,
so
it's
funny.
what'd you say? Spy versus Spy?
Spy versus Spy.
Yeah. Dang, dude.
It's like an old comic.
I don't know what
it's
that
a
is,
really
so.
old like newspaper comic almost, like era sort of thing. It's like these two pairs of people, and they both have like these really pointy noses. But I know, and
that's not that like similar. I guess yeah, it's got the point. Thing is, what was weird is that I think I have this big anime poster in my room for this anime called, I think it's like Nichijou My Ordinary Life, and for some reason on that poster there's like the drawing for your head, Jacob, but it's like in the same design, and it was like the circle and the point, but I was like, that's like an anime or whatever. This is YouTube animator stuff, so
right.
Yeah.
A lot of people always ask, like, this is if you ask, like, hey, what would you ask a YouTube animator? Probably the most commonly question that would be asked is, who inspired you? But honestly, it wasn't like, yeah, Grade A Under inspired me comedically, but when it came to my actual design, believe it or not, and in just cartooning in general, my biggest inspiration would have to be Phineas and Ferb. It's not too... I mean, you never hear like YouTube animators say something like, "Oh, my biggest inspiration is this TV show." It's usually like Domics or The Odd Ones Out or I don't know, Swoozy.
Oh no, absolutely. I feel like okay, so if we're gonna go to that line, I totally agree with you. Like, comedic inspiration is different from like visual inspiration. So yes, I got inspired to do the actual medium via Jaden and James and Domics, who I saw, but the comedic inspirations for me are actually from a lot of my initial Cartoon Network shows that I used to watch, like Codename Kids Next Door, and the Tom and Jerry which is not exactly Cartoon Network. Like that kind of slapstick humor that I grew up with, that is like my life. I love that kind of stuff, man. And so that's where I got a lot of my things from, and especially growing up on Nickelodeon, like Victorious, iCarly, Drake and Josh, Amanda Show, like all of those Nickelodeon shows are so slapstick, and it definitely changed how I view comedy. And I think that's why some people do say that I've got, or not me specifically, but a lot of the animators have the same kind of sense of humor, and I get that. But the reason is because we all grew up in the same kind of medium, you know? At the time, internet was very, very small, so we all witnessed the same thing. Whereas nowadays, you have kids growing up on, you know, the animation channel for one, or you have people growing up on Dream and Tommy Innit and all the Minecrafters, and you have other people growing up on like Shane Dawson and all the drama community. Like, it's such a big scope that people can grow up in completely differently on the internet. Whereas give it 10 years ago, everything was the same. Newgrounds, everybody kind of knew about Newgrounds. People really knew about, you know, like Ryan Higa and all the same old people here and there, you know.
Ooh, yeah. These are,
Yeah.
Dude, you're naming a lot of people that I haven't heard of in a long time. Dude, Tony
Yeah,
V.
man.
Tunes, I totally forgot about that guy, man.
He makes excellent music now, man. excellent stuff.
Really,
Like,
I didn't know he made music. Damn, I gotta check that out.
Like really good stuff that I genuinely like have added to my playlist and listened to for like as like a thing. Like I love that kind of stuff, man.
Dang, that's kind of cool. I mean, you never really hear much about like animators making music besides like, you know, the one single that like the Odd Ones Out would put out for Life is Fun and Jaden's song with Boy in the Band. I don't know. It's cool that Tony actually like makes like music. I don't know. I've definitely seen his Instagram posting stuff like new song dropping, but I've never actually taken the time to listen to it. But I mean, it's cool to know that it's new. What would you guys say is your favorite music artist? Like, do you listen to like a specific genre of music, or you kind of like a?
Oh, I love listening to genre. Like I love listening to mainly hip hop. You know, hip hop, kind of rap, kind of that kind of style of stuff. Nowadays, I've been listening to Joji's new album, Nectar. That's been in my playlist for a while. I also love listening to Tyler the Creator, Brockhampton, those kind of like more hip hop / artists I definitely really do enjoy, or pop artists even. Benny, which is like a small indie artist. Well, it used to be small indie, but now it's much gaining popularity from New Zealand. Who else do I listen to?
Tyler the Creator's good.
Bastille. Oh, I love Tyler the Creator, man. That guy. Man, like I still listen to Igor and Flower Boy. Flower Boy is so good. And I watched The Grinch recently, and I forgot that he made the song in that. And so when I heard his signature, like just like the yelling that he does, I'm like, oh, it's Tyler! What the heck? It's Tyler!
That was a spot on. That was a spot on impression. Wait, The Grinch. They made a new... Wait, are you talking about the new Grinch movie?
They did a new one, man, and Tyler made a song for it, man.
Oh, really? Damn. Wait, hang on. I never actually saw that, because honestly, movie remakes never are really that appealing to me. Oh, shoot, you're right.
Yeah. Igor is my favorite
honestly,
album.
The live action Grinch with Jim Carrey is probably... I mean, personally, that movie's awesome. A lot of people don't like that movie, but I really like that movie. The live-action Grinch.
Live-action... Dude, okay. I watched that movie. I watched the live-action Grinch for the first time ever in 8th grade. It was definitely old enough to probably I should have seen it before, but I watched it for the first time, and in 8th grade, that movie scared me. Like, it was terrifying. Like, I don't know. I don't know why no one's commenting on the fact that the Grinch kind of looks like he's using the same makeup as Voldemort. But
true.
Oh man.
I haven't actually been reading the chat that's been going on right now. There's been people asking questions. All right, so podcast questions. Maaz, have you listened to Gorillas from Luca Animations?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I love Gorillas. Their new stuff is going in a different direction, but more or less pretty happy with where they're going for now. I have some of their new songs on my playlist as well. No, I love Gorillas. Their old stuff I haven't memorized, man. If you ask me to sing Clint Eastwood or Feel Good Inc., I will sing you the entire thing, and I did do it. My friend of mine, Nunu1911, she made like a Christmas quote unquote mixtape where we all, like all of our friends sang a song together, and you know, I sang Feel Good Inc. because it's just, I love that song, man. I love Gorillas so much.
Nice. This is, forgive me if I'm crossing a line here, but Maaz, do you sing?
Like, not officially. I used to sing when I was a kid, and people were like, whoa, you're really good. And even now, when I sing actually, like, truthfully, they're like, whoa, you're good. You should practice some more. But I don't know. There's something, I have a weird level of self-conscious to it, because my dad's a great singer. And whenever I sing, everyone's like, yo, like, my family's like, yo, you got it from our dad, you know? And I don't know, there's weird levels of self-conscious there, where every time I sing, I always kind of take it not seriously. I'm like, and I just mess around, because I don't know. Some people, when I do sing, so one time on stream, I was singing truthfully, and somebody said, "Hey man, don't quit your day job, bro." And I was like, "Oh, why you gotta do that to me?" So yeah, that was rough. But,
that's brutal.
Yeah. So I was like, "All right, I'll never sing again." Thank you for that, by the way.
Jesus Christ, damn. Okay, Mooney says in the chat, who inspired you, TheAMaazing? Well, I mean, you already kind of answered that though, didn't you?
Yeah.
Raga Kai says, have you ever played Minecraft?
Yes, I have. I used to play it back when the end just got added, so I want to replay it now and go all the way to the end and like really beat the Ender Dragon as best as I can, you know. Coming back to Minecraft was a very surreal experience to me because I played literally when it first came out. I was really, really, really young, and I had it on my computer, and I was like checking it out. I messed around with it. I played it for years after that. I saw every new edition up until around, I want to say 2017 or 2016, and then I stopped. And then I hear that Microsoft bought Minecraft, and they're adding all of these changes. So just a couple months ago, recently, I started playing it again, and it was so insane to see how, I guess, modernized everything's been. It's like a real game rather than just like the sandbox than it used to be. It's the good old times. I'm always gonna miss the old Minecraft, but I guess I could always just go and play it. But the golden days were logging on to Xbox 360, joining on your Xbox Live and just playing Minecraft Xbox 360 edition. Oh man, I miss those days. Josh, when did you start playing Minecraft? Because I know you're like a big Minecraft dude now. Because I saw your Nintendo. Okay, I forgive me if this is snooping, but I saw your Nintendo Switch history, and like your gaming history, and it was just like, all right, Legend of Zelda, like 200 hours or whatever, and I don't know, a couple other games, Mario Kart, blah blah hours. And then Minecraft, 600 hours. What the hell is going on over there?
Okay, so. This is really, well, it's my Nintendo Switch, and I have one account on my Nintendo Switch, but I don't play Minecraft that much. All of those hours are from my little brother. Who's like,
oh yeah, that's what they all say, bro. No, it's my little brother playing, bro. Actually, now I'm blindfolded, bro. This guy.
I know, I kid you not. He is...
Josh, that would be a cool argument and all, but do you know how many hours 600 hours is? Do you know how many days that is? I don't even know how many days that is. I'm doing the calculation. I'm doing some math right now.
Jacob, it is not 600 hours. It's 1,000 hours, by the way.
It's it's 25. It's 25 days, dude. 25 days. What the heck?
But it is
straight.
And it wasn't even 600. It was 1,000 hours. So I'm gonna do a quick calculation of one.
Sorry, my bad.
1,000 divided by how many hours? 24. It's 41.6 straight days of playing Minecraft hours logged on your Nintendo Switch.
Well, as you can see, I am not on Minecraft as much because my little brother, he got an Xbox and he mainly plays Minecraft on that now. But since we were talking about OG Minecraft, I never had Minecraft when I was younger. The first time I got Minecraft was last summer, I believe, and I got it for my Switch, right? And I wouldn't really play it that much because I didn't know what I was doing. Once I finally started playing.
Oh wait, your first experience with Minecraft was on your Switch?
Yes.
Your first oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I never played it when I was younger.
We in it.
Never got Pocket Edition.
Dang.
Nothing. But if you...
I did not... cool.
If you ever join my world, and if you join my Survivor World, all the Survivor Worlds that have all the stuff in it are labeled Ben, my little brother, Survival World. So, no cap.
I'm sure you didn't just put those signs there yourself, just to frame your little brother for playing Minecraft for 1,000 hours.
It was over the span of a year.
I also think that Minecraft is my most played game on my Switch, but it's only like 172 hours, which again is still a lot. But I have had my Switch for like a long time. I don't know. I feel I already wish I can take back what I was just saying. So just forgive me.
All good. We in it.
So do we have any more?
Like I've been wanting to start playing Minecraft again on my Twitch. You know, I just wanted to start playing Minecraft on my Twitch. Rush has this amazing idea that I won't spoil that he wants to do. That I'm like, holy moly, if he does that, that would be like the best kind of game ever.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so I just have someone in the chat saying, do the Kanye one. All right, Maaz, do you like Kanye?
I do actually, quite a lot. I thought his new album was good, but not the not the best. There are some songs in it that I'm just like, man, it just isn't hitting the right way. But some of them really hit the right way, you know. Close on Sunday, I know a lot of people meme on it. Still sounds fire though. And the other thing is that I absolutely adore his album Kids See Ghost with Kid Cudi. That was wild. So I don't know. Yes, I do like Kanye, and I feel like he gets frequently ragged on because you know it's Kanye.
Yeah, it's Kanye.
I feel like artist versus art versus artist. You know, like people get too into him for what he said, and I understand why. I do, but you know, if you listen to his stuff, it is genuinely phenomenal. I like Kanye a lot.
Cool. I mean, that's interesting to know. I don't personally even listen to any remote hip hop. I'm more of a Frank Sinatra, jazz, old, I don't know, kind of guy. But this is kind of going back to like our kind of going back to what we were talking about before, because I'm kind of interested. But we were talking about nostalgic stuff earlier with the Xbox 360. Did you guys ever used to watch Boomerang on Cartoon Network?
Yes.
Yeah, I love Boomerang.
Oh,
Boomerang,
yeah.
When
I was...
yeah, okay.
What's going on?
Sorry, keep going. Keep going.
Well, as going through the ages of when, like, cable was all the rage, me and my siblings, we'd, like, switch through channels every few years. Like, we had, like, a Nickelodeon phase, and then we'd just, like, stop watching Nickelodeon and switch to Cartoon Network. Then we'd watch Cartoon Network and then stop and switch over to Disney Channel. And by the end, Disney Channel, when that got bad, I don't even watch cable anymore. It's mainly, like, Netflix and streaming services.
Oh, cool. I don't know if this is weird, but I was not allowed to watch Disney Channel growing up. And I know it's like...
Really?
What? It's meant to be like... It's like the kids sitcom. It's literally meant for kids, but I guess it was still a little bit too profound for little old Jacob. I wasn't allowed to watch a lot of things growing up, like no Adventure Time, no regular show, Disney Channel, all that was off the menu for me. The things that I would watch I wasn't even allowed to read Diary of a Wimpy Kid until a noticeably old age.
Oh, man.
Which is ironic to say, considering Diary of a Wimpy Kid still to this day is my favorite book series, which I'm a little bit ashamed to admit, but I mean, how can I not love it?
Nah, it's fine. It's solid. Even when I was growing up, it's so good. It's so good.
The movies are
good.
amazing.
Diary of a Wimpy Kid. Except for The Long Haul.
Like,
we don't talk about The Long Haul.
Yeah,
ew.
we don't talk about that.
That's gross.
We don't talk about that one.
Not my Roger.
The movie is genuinely, like, actually good stuff. I was like, what the heck? I wasn't expecting this to be, like, funny. But it is funny, you know? I really like it.
Oh, yeah. Roger Rules is the best
especially
one.
Chirag Gupta.
Chirag Gupta.
I love Chirag, bro. Cheese touch.
Oh, my God. Okay, so this is kind of... a little bit of a tangent. In English class in my first year of high school, we had this like assignment to like write give an ironic situation and write a dramatic story about it. So I literally wrote a dramatic essay about the cheese touch scene from Diary of a Wimpy Kid. Like,
beautiful.
Chirag Gupta called from the corner and the sky darkened and roses wilted as he said the name, the cheese touch. I got 100% on the assignment, so I mean it paid.
Yeah, good.
It paid off. Man. To cap off this episode, I want to answer a little bit more of what the audience kind of wants, what the chat wants to is asking. So Dole Pilot is asking, "Am I cool?"
Am I cool? I guess so. I don't know. Actually, you know what? No, you're not. I'm gonna say that right here. Okay. Ooh. Cool people don't have to ask if they're cool. There you go. Da-na-na-na.
You know what?
No, I'm kidding. You're pretty cool.
Dole Pilot, you're cool. Just because. Okay, and then Ragakai asks, "What do you think is the best way to improve your videos animation-wise?" Which is a nice thought-provoking one.
Yeah, so you definitely just got to just watch a lot more. You know what I mean? You've got to watch a lot more animations. I feel like the only way you can really improve animation-wise is to be inspired and watching people and actually writing down what you enjoy about them. Like, I personally like the way that Sugar bounced their characters, and so I took that, and I really like the way that Jaden and James wrote their comedy, so I took that, and I like the way that PJ had some lots of visual gags depending upon facial expression. So I took it. So I think that's why the phrase comes, like, good artist copy, great artist steal, right? Because copying is lame, is weak mindset, is like baby moves, you know what I mean? Where it's just like, oh, I'm going to copy this exactly and do it. Great artists, what they do is they take the best quality about something and then make it their own, right? So Jaden and I'm not sure if this is public or whatever, but it's not a secret. Is the Jaden and James read my script. So whenever a script is done, I send it over to Jaden and James and a few other animators, and they all read the script and they offer good skits or ideas that are like, hey, what about this? I think this would be funny. And I'm proud to say, like, whenever I read those, I'm like, that would be funny, but I'm going to change it so it fits in my way. You know what I mean? So I kind of make it my own thing. Yeah, we all proofread each other's thing because, like, I think the three of us, Jaden, James, and I, we swap each other's script like literally for years now.
Yeah.
Because we've just been friends for so long, and we have a very similar sense of humor, and similar sense of humor in the fact that Jaden is much more quiet than I am, James is more impulsive than I am. But the thing is, when we give ideas, it's more so like, hey, this could be a funny skit, you can make it your own, and then they do. Like, some of the ideas that Jaden and James have taken up from me, but just done in their own way. You know what I mean?
Oh, right, totally. Cool. No, that's awesome.
Yeah. That's actually really cool.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I probably could have expected that you guys read each other's scripts or whatever to, like, get it, because you guys are all friends, I assume. But I mean, that is still interesting to know that, like, you guys, all of these individual YouTubers that I watch are all, like, kind of connected, which... Nice.
Yeah. Huge. Like the animation community, like the real, like the deep one, is so connected. Like, everybody knows everybody, man. Like, I know, like, that beach day photo that was taken at VidCon, like, I can list you almost like 95% of everybody there. Like, I know there's just, everybody knows everybody.
Wow. Way to make me feel left out. I'm just messing with you.
Yeah. So, but listen, man, you got to go to VidCon 2020, the Corona edition.
Corona edition, 6 feet apart. Can't even hug your favorite YouTubers. I think that's gonna cap it off for this episode. Do you guys have any final words? Would you like to plug anything?
No plugging, but any questions, any final things y'all want to ask? What's up?
Well,
last question. Right. One last question.
What you were saying earlier.
All right.
What's the question?
One last thing. What you're saying earlier is about, like, improving and stuff. Is to what I always do is I always, like, try to step out of my comfort zone and try new things, and then you realize after you try something that, hey, this really works. That's what I usually do when it, like, comes to, like, trying a new background or trying a new art style or art, like, little design thing.
Just try it. It's never too late to swap it up. Like, I changed my character design this last year to have a star. You know what I mean? Like, that's the thing. Y'all don't. It's never too late to reinvent everything. That's all.
Okay, so this one last question. Chase360 meme asks: Is Maaz? Do you like Bloons TD?
Yeah, I like Bloons Tower Defense. I don't want to play. I have like 12 Among Us servers. I cannot join anymore, man. I'm sorry.
I don't know what Bloons TD is, but cool. I guess
Tower Defense. It's fantastic. Good game.
It sounds like he's satisfied with his answer. So on that note, I would like to cap off this episode. Josh, do you have any final words?
Stay cool. Stay in school. Don't do drugs. Do your homework. Be nice to elders. And yeah. Look both ways when you cross the street.
TheAMaazing.
Yes, stay amazing.
Stay amazing. I like that. All right, cool.
TheAMaazing, everybody.
Well, I guess I will see you next week then. See ya.
All right, laters, everybody.